Hannah with Divinity Unbridled, and I am so excited to share a meditation with you that I am calling Vibration Meditation. And it's really about connecting inward and raising your vibration, lifting your vibration so that you can live a fuller, more alive, more vibrant, more truthful life. And before we begin with that, I want to talk a little bit about what high vibration means to me, because I think we live in a society, a culture, a time in history where we are so obsessed with high vibes only, positive vibes only, no negativity, live in the love and the light. And while I can truly appreciate the intention and the sentiment behind that, it's not realistic and it's not in alignment with the full expression of who we are. And when we live in that way, it's almost like we narrow our path. We narrow our opportunity to connect with ourselves, to live in our full expression. We limit our ability to connect with others. We limit our ability to connect with the air and the earth and nature and the stars. And so to me, high vibration is not about just being happy or living in this positive state all the time where we reject and we deny some of these pieces that are maybe a little bit more on the shadow sides of us, or the things that don't feel as good, the things that bring up a lot of emotion or that make our hearts ache or make our stomachs churn. To me, high vibration is becoming so attuned with self that our frequency, as we align with truth from inside, not from something outside of ourselves, that our beings begin to come alive more and more. And that's where the higher vibration comes from. It's getting so close to ourselves, to our own truth, that then we can realize that our vibration, our internal soul beat, that's what I experience is my soul's beat. It's like the heartbeat of our body. Our souls have their own tempo, their own rhythm. And when we can attune to the vibration of our own souls, we realize that we are the same vibration as the air, as the trees, as all of nature and the earth, as the stars, this universe. And ultimately, the real goal, the real opportunity to raising the vibration is to get so close to the vibration of the divine. And that's where union happens. That's where we can breathe, where our whole being opens and we can receive everything. That is to me what high vibration is, what raising our frequency and living from the frequency of our highest spirits and our deepest souls. So with all of that, I would invite you to find a comfortable seated position. I like to sit on a bolster with my legs crossed. You could sit on the ground. You could lay down. I would probably recommend sitting for this one, just because you want to really feel the movement and the flow of your internal being through this meditation. And so before we can really start to raise our vibration, we have to be able to feel our own vibration. We have to feel our own essence, our own internal movement. And so how I like to start is by doing a little bit of movement and then getting really, really still. So if you're in your seated position, I invite you to put your hands either on your thighs. You could cup them in front of you. You may want to place a hand on your heart, a hand on your belly. And we'll just take a couple deep breaths in to come into ourselves. Breathing in deeply through your nose, letting your belly expand, letting your hips widen, your waist widen, and filling up your lungs. And let it all out through your mouth. Let's do 2 more like that. In through the nose, letting the oxygen expand into every part of your body. Holding at the top, and exhaling out the mouth. All the way to the end, letting it all release from your body. And last time, in through the nose, hold at the top, and exhale through the mouth. So I usually like to do this kind of meditation with a little bit of music in the background, mostly because I find that I like to move my body at the beginning, as I mentioned before, and sometimes having a little bit of an external rhythm can help just with finding what that is for you. It might be slow, it might be fast, it might be kind of sensual, it might feel a little bit more structured. You really want to find what feels right to you. For me, I usually end up moving in circles. So for me, it is a little bit more sensual. It's tuning into my feminine essence, my feminine flow. And so I like to just circle around as I breathe, opening my heart and rounding back down. And then go the other way. You could do a little sway side to side. Whatever gets you into your body. The breath is great, and sometimes we need a little bit more movement to really drop in all the way. When you feel settled, you might need to get reassorted. Then we're going to find stillness. And we're going to tune into our own vibration. And your vibration might be really subtle. It might not feel that high right now, and that's okay. We're just going to notice. There's no judgment, there's no requirement for it to be a particular way. We're just going to tune in and see, what does it feel like to really tune into myself? So as you breathe, imagine the breath coming up from your perineum, the root chakra, up your belly, up your solar plexus, up your heart center, up your throat, up your third eye, and out the crown of your head. And as you breathe in and out, breathe your breath through that center alignment of your body, from your root to the crown of your head, and then back down on your exhale. in this stillness, start to notice where you feel movement. Where do you feel, might just be a little shaking back and forth. Where do you feel that vibration of your aliveness, your soul, your essence? Where does that live in your body? For me, it lives right here. I can feel my heart. I can feel the expansion of my lungs as my vibration increases. You may feel it in your belly. Just begin to notice where you feel that movement. And that is your truth point. As you sit in the stillness, you might notice that it begins to increase. For me, my body's starting to rock forward and back a little bit. I can feel the vibration of my essence and my heart starting to expand down my arms to the tips of my fingers. I can feel it dropping down into my belly and into my hips, running down my legs and out the tips of my toes. This is the place where you have an expanded view or listening of your intuition, that alert, that notification that you get when something maybe doesn't feel quite right. But in this place, you have the opportunity to use it to ask different questions, not just to tell you when something is out of alignment, but to discover what really is in alignment. What is it that I most desire? What is it that belongs to the truth of me without my linear brain having an input? And this may bring up different emotions. It might bring up some discomfort in facing what that really is, what it is you really want, what it is that feels true and in alignment. You can start to notice. You can ask yourself different questions. It's like, if you heard of dowsing with a pendulum, you're dowsing with your own internal vibration. And the questions you can start off with can be very easy. They can be something that happened earlier today, something that you know 100% the answer to. Did I go for a run this morning on the beach? And then sit in stillness and notice what happens to that internal vibration. For me, it's a frequency, it's a lighting up when it's a yes. It's an opening, it's an expansion, it's alignment with the truth of my soul and with the divine. Even in those seemingly silly questions. And as you are beginning this practice, I encourage you to stick with the questions that feel easy, that feel known, so that you can begin to build the trust of this frequency, this inner knowing. Sometimes you might ask a question and you might not hear an answer right away. Just sit in that stillness and wait and listen. And as you begin to trust your own inner knowing, your inner knowing will begin to trust you back. And your soul, your essence, your truest truth will become courageous enough to reveal more of itself with you. It's a dance between you, your human self, your mind, with that deep truth. And how are you going to show up to meet it? How are you going to honor it when it tells you what it needs and wants? Will you find the courage to follow the truth? And as you do, each time you honor it, it's going to give you more. Give yourself a few more moments here in the stillness and the quiet. Continuing to breathe and asking yourself maybe one last question. And as you hear the answer to that question, notice the rest of your body. Notice the way that you feel after tuning into this core place inside of you. Do you feel alive? Do you feel confused? Do you feel excited? Do you feel sad? Everything's welcome. For me, whatever the emotion is that comes up, I tend to have a similar experience of my being regardless of what it is I'm feeling. Because aligning with the truth allows us to expand into the full breadth, the full energy body of our souls. And so for me, even if I'm feeling sad or confused or things have come up that I maybe felt a little uncomfortable, I feel tall and I feel expansive and I feel wide and I feel like everything in me is lit up with this truth of my soul. And then I sit and I honor my feelings. I honor what came up for me. I will journal. I encourage you to maybe write down what came up for you, what you felt, some of the questions that you asked, and maybe what the answers or the noticings in your vibration were. And this is a regular practice. You may not hear all of it this first time, but like I said, the more you tune in, the more you get still and ask from a place of curiosity and devotion to yourself, the more answers are going to start to reveal themselves. The more truth is going to come out, which is going to align you with your dreams, with your deepest desires, with everything that already belongs to who you are in this life and in your eternal soul. So with all of that, I hope you enjoyed this meditation and this tuning into your own vibration. It's really the life force of you. High vibration has nothing to do with anyone but yourself. And we all have the opportunity to, every moment, every breath, every movement, to live from this place of high vibration, of alignment with self. And I can imagine a world where every single person is so aligned and so in tune with themselves. It's magic. It's what's going to change the world, because we can honor ourselves. And when we honor ourselves, we have the capacity and the sacred space and ability within to hold the space for the truth of others. So thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe on YouTube or here on social media, and let me know if there's anything you have questions about. You can DM me on social media. You can email me on divinityunbridled.com. This will also be available on the Divinity Unbridled podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you would like to listen again to an audio version or something else. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day.